Well, I want to welcome you to the Pay to Save Hangout. For those of you I have not previously met, my name is Todd. I'm going to be your host for this evening's Hangout, and I do want to welcome each and every single one of you. I know that your time is valuable, and I promise you we are going to make it worth your while. In the next handful of minutes, I'm going to tell you who we are as a company, where we're going, and more importantly, why you might want to participate. And I got to tell you up front, what we've witnessed here in the last couple of weeks as a company is nothing short of breathtaking. We had a conference just 2 weeks ago where we made massive, colossal announcements. We're doing things that have never, ever been done in the history of our industry. They've just never been done. We are absolutely making history, breaking new ground, pioneering new industries. And even though we made those announcements, you could not have convinced me 2 weeks ago that what I have witnessed in the last couple of weeks could have happened. Our growth has absolutely just gone vertical. This thing is going ballistic. We're watching a doubling, and doubling again of our customer base, of our sales force. We're watching people's checks go through the roof, and it's exciting time. So what I want to do is I'm going to kind of jump into this without a lot of preamble and give you an understanding as to why this mobile app with Pay to Save is relevant in today's marketplace, why people are so excited. And I do want to let you know, first and foremost, we're a savings company. We're about saving people money. We had a number of different products and services that would save people money, long before we launched the mobile app. And those products and services were able to save people hundreds of dollars per month, thousands of dollars per year. And the mobile app was really just an extension of that passion to put money back in people's pockets. So let's start our presentation. And we always like to start off with the question, have you ever dreamed of finding the right opportunity, quitting your job and being able to live life on your terms? Well, if you wanted to make money, 30 years ago, you had to be involved with the computer industry. That's where the money was at. 20 years ago, it was the internet revolution. 10 years ago, you had to be in Mark Zuckerberg's dorm room. It was the social networking revolution. So it beckons the question, well, what's the next big thing? What industry is going to spawn the next Google, Facebook, the next Steve Jobs, the next Mark Zuckerberg? And the answer is probably closer than you might think. It's the mobile phone. If you simply think about, a lot of you might, if you're older than 35, you're what I call the TV generation. And when you were kids, and I was a kid back then too, and our parents used to say, all you do is sit around and stare at that darn TV all day long. Well, today, if you have kids or grandkids, that's not what the parents are saying. Or maybe you are one of the kids. The parents are saying, all you do is sit around and stare at that mobile phone all day long. This is the one device we can't live without. The screen has changed. It's no longer the television screen. It's now the mobile phone screen. And this is the new gateway. The company that controls the gateway to this device, that's your next Facebook. That's your next Google, and we're going to share you with our plan to dominate this mobile space. But to kind of give you some mobile numbers and kind of help you appreciate where things are at, we're going to talk about the ways things used to be and the way things are now. So some of you may recognize the old Polaroid camera here. I'll never forget when I was a kid, this is state-of-the-art technology. This is big stuff. And, of course, we don't take pictures that way anymore. We now take pictures this way. We used to take notes this way. Now we do it this way. Surf the web this way. Now we do it this way. We used to read papers this way. Now we do it this way. We used to listen to music this way. Some of you are saying, hey, where are the 8 tracks? And now we do it this way. We used to play games this way. Now we do it this way. Videos. How about navigation? Some of you might call that a nagavation system. Now we have a navigation system. Our meds have changed. The way we shop has changed. And then finally, the way we get our coupons has changed. So things are changing. Mobile's where it's at. This is the new revolution. This is the industry that you have to be in. This is where that dynamic growth is happening. For those of you who have not seen our home office, this is what it looks like. We're based in Marietta, California, commenced operations in 2013. We're a debt-free company, profitable, money in the bank. And again, we got a passion for saving people money. For those of you who have not seen our mobile app, this is our 1.0 version. Now, a lot of you know we've recently released our 2.0 version. That's in a private setting, not yet a public setting. We got about 600 phones out there that have it on there, and they're out testing it and using it and making sure there's no bugs. But the 1.0 version has just done amazing things for our company. This app was designed to save you money all over town. Whether you're looking for 2 pizzas for the price of 1, a half-price oil change, 40% off on your dry cleaning, and now we made the announcement just 2 weeks ago, you can save money at Best Buy, Target, Walmart, Costco, JCPenney's, Office Depot, Bed Bath Beyond, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Over 9,000 of the big box retailers are on our 2.0 version. And the app allows you to walk in and simply show your mobile phone and save money. No longer do you have to clip coupons. and no longer do you have to buy vouchers in advance, and heaven forbid you forget it at home. Now it's the digitization of coupons. We put the deal right on the mobile phone. You walk through, show your phone, you get the savings. Nothing could be simpler. Now, if this is all we were doing, we could build a big company. I mean, if you look at Groupon, they're doing $5 to $6 billion a year in sales. If you look at a company called Retail Me Not, a publicly traded company, market cap of about $1.4 billion, all they do is disseminate coupons for big box retailers. You could build a massive business and cash in a big way. I mean, the space is that dynamic. But we have a revolutionary twist. And the revolutionary twist is we have a program called incentivized sharing. And it means just that, to give you the incentive to share. And with our company, you can push a button. You can share our concept with everyone in your phone, everyone on your Facebook, everyone on your Twitter, everyone in your email. At the click of a button, you can share our opportunity to download the app and save money with those people. And as those people go around town saving money, you're making money. And so it's just that simple. I mean, push the button, share it with all of your friends instantly. Again, as your friends go around town saving money, you're making money, and we'll actually put that money right on a Visa debit card. And every Monday's payday. So in our company, we say TGIM, thank goodness it's Monday. And we got a lot of people starting to do some pretty big end zone dances. And it's not because of Monday Night Football. I mean, the checks are getting pretty large around here. So, Paid to Save, we know how to say thank you. And we do that by giving you a percentage of all commissions received from all of the people who've downloaded our app as a result of your sharing. So let me kind of quickly review this. And I want to kind of give this to you from the consumer's perspective. I'm going to play the part of the consumer. And so the consumer says, wait a minute, you're telling me I can download a mobile app for free. And this mobile app is going to save me money all over town, including big box retailers like Target and Best Buy. That's correct. You're telling me I can push a few buttons and instantly invite all of my friends to download the mobile app. That's correct. And you're telling me that if my friends buy anything, that's a potential payday for me? That's correct. How many people do you think are going to push that button? And if you're like most people, you're thinking, wow, almost everybody. And ladies and gentlemen, that's what sets up the viral concept. That's what's going to take this thing and crisscross the country. And people push the button, and then their friends push the button. In fact, let me just show you how viral this can be. Let's assume that you push the button and invite 200 friends. And your friends, they download the mobile app, and let's just say that only 10% of them download the app. I'm using super conservative numbers here. So only 200 friends, 10% download the app. That's 20 people who now have our app. Those 20 people all click the button, invite their 200 friends. That's 4,000 invitations. 10% download the mobile app. 400 people now have our mobile app. Those 400 people push the button, invite their friends. 8,000 people have our app. Do that one more time. 160,000 people now have our mobile app. And if anybody buys anything, that's a potential payday for you. I mean, just imagine if you only made a dime per person who had the mobile app. I mean, that's $16,000 per month. And I know what you're thinking. You can't live on it, but it's a good start. But it does represent how viral this can be and the kind of philosophy that we're pursuing. This is about making a little bit of money on a massive group of people doing something very, very simple. Downloading a mobile app, saving money all over town, the digitization of coupons, and it's a big deal. Now, what kind of money can be made for doing this kind of an activity? Well, let's assume that you went out and built a 3x10 matrix. And that means that if I were to recruit Manny, Mo, and Jack, those are my first three people. If I were to bring on a fourth person, I have no choice but to put them below Manny, Mo, or Jack. I can only be three wide. And so, my three can have three on their front line. So you got 3 on the front line, 9 on the second line, 27 on the third line, 81, and we're building a 3x10 matrix. Now, it's not a perfect world, but let's pretend that we filled that thing up perfectly and that everyone gave away our mobile app to just 20 people each. That's it. And, remember, our mobile app, it's free. You can't sell free. So everyone gives away our mobile app to 20 people each, and those people go out and click on just one thing per week at a local merchant. They buy one pizza, get one free. They go to the dry cleaners and save 40%. They get 30% off on our oil change. They click on just one thing per week. If you fill up a matrix perfectly, 3x10, everyone gives away the mobile app to 20 people each, and they click on one thing per week, your potential income is $1 million per month. Not per year, per month. That's the kind of money that's on the table from a pretty simple activity. And the question is not, am I going to make $1 million a month? I mean, this is for illustration purposes only. We don't live in a perfect world. 3 don't get 3 who get 3 perfectly. But it's to make the point that what if just some fraction of your potential came to fruition for you? I mean, what if it was 10% of your potential? That's $100,000 a month. What if it was 1% of your potential? I mean, my gosh, that's 10 grand a month. What if it was 1/10 of 1%? That's $1,000 per month and, reoccurring income month after month for giving away a free mobile app where people can save money all over town. And gang, I want you to realize that as our customer base dynamically grows, so will our product line. This is not just about saving money at local merchants. This is not just about saving money at Target and Best Buy and the other 9,000 big box retailers. By the way, we even have Amazon on the app. You can shop on Amazon and Groupon. But this is about eventually putting products on the app where you see a George Foreman grill that normally sells for $129. And my gosh, today you can buy it for $62. I mean, what a great deal. And someone says, man, I want to get that product. And we ship it straight to the door, and all the commissions get paid upline off all those apps of people telling people, telling people, telling people. But it's not just George Foreman grills. It's cell phone covers, refurbished computers, battery packs, apparel, clothing, wine, jewelry, you name it, every kind of a product you can think of. And about a year from now, we'll enter the mobile gaming space. And big times happen in mobile games. In fact, how many of you ever heard of a game called Candy Crush? And most of you are probably chuckling. I think everyone in the country has been beat up by people who are playing this game, or you're beating people up with it. But Candy Crush has been a juggernaut. The game came out just 2 years ago. Came out in the year 2012, and in just 2 years, 1 billion people have played this game. 1 billion. I mean, how do you get 1 billion people, 1/7 of the planet, to play your game in just 2 years? And they did that by giving people an incentive to share. And what was the incentive? Well, the incentive was you can get a free life. If you're playing Candy Crush and you're on level 2, you're trying to get to level 3, you're playing the game and you're getting killed like you do in all games, you're running out of lives, and Candy Crush comes along and says, by the way, if you'll click the button and invite your friends, we'll give you more lives. And so people start hitting that button, invite, 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 invite. I mean, most of you are getting the invitations just like I am. You're getting beat up. You see this happen. Invite, invite, invite. And because people keep clicking that button, they got 1 billion people to play the game in just 2 years. Now, Candy Crush, by the way, netted $500 million in profit last year alone. Not sales, profit. $500 million left over after all expenses, $500 million in the bank. What do you want to buy? I mean, Candy Crush is crushing it. Now, how are they crushing it? Because they gave people an incentive to push that button. Well, gang, we don't want to give you some free life, in a virtual game. We're going to up the ante. We're going to give you Benjamin Franklin's. We're going to pay you to push that button. We're going to give you real money for the very real game of life, and we're the first company in the history of the world to do it. And when you look at this sharing model, it really got started with a company called Facebook. Facebook, they're the social networking giant, but they used a little technology to build that customer base. When you were signing up for Facebook, you were click, 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 I'm joining Facebook, and in that process, you gave them permission to send out an invitation on your behalf to every single person you'd ever emailed in your entire life. You click the button. Well, then your friends got on Facebook, they clicked the button, invited all their friends through the process of signing up. Well, then their friends' friends and their friends' friends click the button, and this whole thing culminates in 1.5 billion people getting involved with social networking. Well, you have to understand that Facebook would be worth $0.00 without the people. Facebook doesn't make money because people are posting pictures of grandma. They make their money from advertisers. They make money off all the eyeballs that are looking at the screen. And when you got 1.5 billion eyeballs, you got a lot of money. That's why Super Bowl commercials cost so much. And so it's the people that make the company valuable. Well, how did all those people get there? Oh, that's right, us. We told our friends who told their friends who told their friends. Well, think about this. Facebook cashed in for $104 billion. Now, gang, this number is so large, so obscene, that the only way I can really get you to appreciate the gravity of $104 billion is if I were to convert it from money to time. If I were to give you $1 million, it'd be an unbelievable day. You'd probably send me birthday cards, right? I mean, you're now a millionaire. I mean, think about what you could do with $1 million. And if I were to give you $1 billion, I mean, it's more than $1 million, but it's hard to truly appreciate, so I'm going to convert it from money to time. If I were to give you 1 million seconds, you'd have 11 days. But if I were to give you 1 billion seconds, you would have 32 years. $1 million is a ton of money. It's 11 days. 1 billion is 32 years. Gang, these guys cashed in for $104 billion. That's 3,300 years. Now, why did they get all that money? Because they got 1.5 billion people. So it's the people that makes the company valuable. How did those people get there? That's right, you and me. So they got 104 billion based on our hard work, and the question is, how much of that money did you and your family receive? And the answer is 0. And I hope at some level that ticks you off. And once that happened, it was like blood in the water. I mean, once they did that success, everybody was in on the act. Twitter did it, LinkedIn did it, Groupon did it, Pinterest did it, Living Social, Angry Birds, Instagram. You cannot download a mobile app today that does not want to invite all of your friends via the social networks. Why? Because they're making billions, they're making millions. Why most of us are wondering, how am I going to pay my bills next week? And we believe the paradigm that is going to dominate the mobile space is the same paradigm that built this country. If you want we the people, the same idea that built the USA, if you want we the people to go out and share the ideas, then you, the company, need to share the money. And that's where we're at, and people are absolutely digging it. I mean, we want to right that wrong. People are realizing that, hey, you know what? They've been cashing into my friends and my friends' friends. I want a piece of the money too. I want a piece of the pie. And we're the first company, again, gang, in the history of the world to do it. Today, we're the only company doing it, and it's going places you can't even imagine. Now, let's switch subjects for a moment. If you were to download a mobile app today, if you were to go download a Groupon app, if you were to download a Travelzoo app, if you were to download a Living Social app, one of the hottest selling products in the mobile space is travel. The public seems to have an insatiable appetite for going to exotic places for pennies on the dollar. And so we put together what we call the Dream Share. And this allows you to go over 4,000 resorts in 85 countries, and you can stay there for literally pennies on the dollar. I mean, imagine going to these places for 8 days for rates of $299. Now, let me give you some specific examples. Let's say that you want to go to the Wyndham Valley High Resort. This is an unbelievable place. You know, full kitchen, full living room, couple of bedrooms. You know, some of them have jacuzzi tubs. This place goes for $2,215 on Expedia's website. You can stay at this same place for $499. I mean, unbelievable. How about this one, the Mayan Palace Riviera? Once again, unbelievable place. You can see the pictures on the right. Normally goes for $2,100 for 8 days. I mean, gang, you can stay at this place with us for $399. I mean, folks, that's $50 a day. I mean, you can't go to a Motel 6 for $50 a day. You can't afford to stay home for $50 a day. Okay, so go to the resorts and run there. But we're not limited to just resorts. We can save you money on hotels, flights, rental cars, vacation packages, movies, golfing, sporting events, shows. I got my good friends Seth and Joy Kawoha. I mean, they saved over $3,000 last year in just travel alone. I mean, they're not like sophisticated travelers. He works for the sheriff's department. Joy does some work from home with her graphics design, and they got grandkids they help take care of. I mean, they're just a family. They get to travel here and there every once in a while, but $3,000 they saved just in travel. And then we also give people $50 a month in food. I mean, every month you're getting $50 a month from restaurants.com. And right here in my town, I can go to the best barbecue place right here in Marietta, Temecula. It's a Twin City, and it's a place called 3rd Street Smokehouse. I can go down there. I can order $37 with the baby back ribs, right? I got the barbecue sauce all over the place, right? And I can hand them a $25 certificate and walk out the door for $12.50. I mean, gang, when you order $37 with the baby back ribs, I mean, these things fall off the bone, and you're walking out the door for $12. I mean, it don't feel right. I mean, you feel guilty for a moment. I mean, the feeling passes quick. I mean, for just a moment, it don't feel right, but you get over it quickly. I mean, it's an absolutely incredible program. We also give people medical discounts. The Teladoc is the big one. This service retails. Some people retail it for as much as $49 a month. Some retail it for $29 a month. But 7 million people have signed up for this telemedicine. But what it does, it gives you access to a medical doctor from your very own state, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Rather than having to go see the doctor, you can pick up the telephone or use video conference. The doctor can diagnose you right over the phone, right over the video conference, write you a prescription drug if necessary. Entire process takes 20 minutes. So within 20 minutes, you're on your way to Walgreens or CVS, all from the comfort of your home. There's no co-pays with our service ever, and it covers the entire family. We have the Cadillac version of it. It's an incredible program. We also have the family dental plan. This comes from Aetna, big gigantic insurance company, and they have a program where you can go to participating dentists and save up to 50% on your dental work. We got a vision plan, a pharmacy plan. Back to my friend Seth and Joy, I know they saved a bunch of money at Walmart. It was a prescription for like $40-something. They got it for like $12. And then we have a legal plan. Legal plans are like car insurance. It's the last thing you ever want to talk about until something happens, and then you're darn glad you got it, and you can save up to 40% on the legal plan. So incredible services that put money back in people's pockets. But the big thing I want to leave you with is timing. When I graduated high school in 1989, if you wanted to make a lot of money, there was one place you had to be, and that was Microsoft. Back then, if you went to work for Microsoft, it didn't matter who you were. You could have been an executive, you could have been a programmer, you could have been a secretary. Bill Gates gave everybody stock. And because the stock went through the roof, they all became wealthy. They wrote books called the Microsoft Millionaires. I mean, people flat out cashed in. It was a phenomenon. The question is, have you heard of anybody getting rich at Microsoft lately? No. In fact, they just laid off 18,000 people. And so the difference between becoming a millionaire and getting a pink slip and being unemployment was, did I join the company in 1989 or did I join the company in 2009? Same hard-working people, same work ethic, went to school, doing the right things. They just had the wrong timing. It's all about timing. Sheryl Sandberg, I think, proves the point. If you were to go down to Barnes and Nobles and buy a best-selling book, it was written by Sheryl Sandberg. It's called Lean In, great book. Highly recommend you buy it. She was an employee at Google, just got a job, working a job like everybody else, and she makes a bold move, and she decides to leave Google and go to a place where she can find some growth. And she goes to a place called Facebook. They were going through that curve. They were growing. It looked like it was going places. And so she jumped on that, that juggernaut. And rather than being an employee at Google, she becomes the COO of Facebook, and she cashed in for nearly $1 billion. I mean, gang, not 1 million, not 10 million, not 100 million, nearly $1 billion. What's the difference? Timing. It is all about timing. And today, if you want to make a lot of money, this mobile space is the place you have to be. Mobile is the big hot thing. Go to any coffee shop and you see people looking at their phones. It's everywhere, staring you in the face. And in particular, 10 years ago, nobody knew what social networking was. But today, everybody knows what that is. Today, nobody knows what incentivized sharing is, but that's going to change. And you're at the very forefront of a massive movement, and it's your turn, if you want, to take advantage of some pretty nice trends. Now, to get started with our company, there's two ways. You can get started for $199, and then we have our $49 a month. So the question is, what am I getting for $199 bucks? Well, number one, you're going to get a week of our Dream Share. And I got a buddy, Rick Lewag. Him and his family go to Maui, and they stay at a timeshare there, and it runs about $3,300 bucks. And he recently booked that exact same place for $1,100 bucks. And you might say, wait a minute, how did he get it for $1,100? I mean, he just saved $2,200 bucks because he spent $199 one time. And what that did is that gave him access to our Dream Shares, where he's able to go to these unbelievable places for pennies on the dollar. So when you could save $2,200 bucks, is that worth $199? I think so. And then if you look at our $49 per month program, that's all the services I outlined, previously. And I can just break it down for you, gang. If you look at just the $50 a month in food alone, I mean, how many of you eat out? How many of you love to eat out? Well, you're getting $50 a month in food. I mean, you're at wash right now. But if you look at that program, it's retailed to millions of people, and they typically charge $20 a month just for that alone. If you look at the teledoc, I think it's retailed to, again, millions of people for $29 a month. If you look at the legal benefit that we give you, a lot of companies retail that for $25. If you look at the dental benefit, a lot of companies retail that for $24. If you look at the travel stuff, a lot of companies retail that for $50 a month. I mean, so at $49 a month, this is an unbelievable value. And by the way, we got a program. If you get 4, you pay no more. And simply get 4 people who embrace our services and get on, and they're paying that $49 a month. And at that point, you're free. And so get 4 and keep them on the program. And at that point, you're enjoying everything for $0.00. Now, our more popular packages are $399. At this package, you're actually not going to get 1 week of the Dream Share like my buddy Rick got. You're going to get 4 weeks. So you can go to Hawaii for 4 weeks if you wish. Now, each week is an independent week. So you can actually, use a week this year, use a week 10 years from now. They never expire. There's no fees. You can transfer one to your brother, your sister. These are your independent weeks. You can do with them as you wish. Now, there's another advantage of the $399, and that is you can fast track to brand manager. That's going to allow you to simply make a lot more money a lot faster at our compensation plan. And as I mentioned a moment ago, here's that get 4, you pay no more. Now, let's talk about compensation. And some of you might be cracking up at this graphic on the screen. It says Hog Nasty Rich. There's kind of a story behind this. I've always been fond of telling people about getting filthy, stinking happy. And as we were putting together the program, for Pay to Save, Mike Oliver, he's like a mentor to us all. He's very wise older gentleman. And Mike was leaned over as we're putting the whole thing together, and he goes, Todd, we're about to get hog nasty rich, aren't we? And sometimes you just know that I mean, it was pretty obvious this program was going to be a smash hit even before we rolled it out. Well, I told that story, and our chief technology officer here the guy building our mobile app, he used to be a gamer. I mean, that's his real core competency. He actually designed a game when he was younger and sold it for a whole bunch of money. I mean, he's a gamer at heart. He says, you know what, I'm going to take that Hog Nasty Rich and turn it into a game. And this was the graphic that he designed for the game. So as I mentioned before, we're going to enter the mobile gaming world. Big time revenues happen in mobile gaming. Again, Candy Crush made $500 million last year. The Kardashian game just came out. They're doing $700 grand a day. Right out of the gate, expected to make $200 million this year. And so this could be one of the games on the Pay to Save gaming platform called Hog Nasty Rich. It's also the theme of our comp plan, so let's talk about that. So there's a couple ways of making money. One is obviously retail commissions. We have a huge opportunity, by the way, to go out and sign up merchants. If you were to go to a merchant, you could literally put $1 on the counter and ask for a dime back. And they're like, you want a dime back? I'm giving you $1. All I want's a dime back. And they're like, okay, but why? That's how our program works for merchants. If a person puts $1 in your cash register, all Pay to Save asks for is a dime. If no one ever puts $1 in your cash register, you never pay us anything. It's an unbelievable deal for merchants to get onto our mobile app. Cost them nothing to get on the mobile app. They can advertise all their deals and coupons, and they never pay us anything until someone puts $1 in their cash register. So we charge 10%, or we do have a minimum of $1.75. It's an incredible program, unequivocally the best deal in America for a merchant. Well, furthermore, the merchant can put out our table tents like you're seeing here on the screen. And if the merchant gives away our mobile app at their place of business, they can begin to earn money on their customers as they shop all over town. And so you can ask our merchant, let me ask you something, Mr. Merchant, just ballpark. How much money do you currently make when your customers shop at your competition? And they're like, nothing. Well, how would you like it if you could turn your customer base into a profit center when they're shopping at big box retailers, when they're shopping at your competition? And merchants like, I would love that, a whole nother profit stream. If you give away our mobile app, number one, you can use the app within your own practice. There's quite a few benefits. We'll outline that in another place. But obviously, then the customers go around town saving money. That merchant's making money. Well, guess what? If you're the person who brought in the merchant's giving away these mobile apps to everyone who's walking through the door. We had a place called Cafe Perks. AJ runs the place down in Orlando, Florida. And in just a short period of time, he signed up 294 people. 294 people walked through the door, saw a little sign he made up, and downloaded the mobile app. Well, imagine if you're the person who signed up the merchant, you're not only going to make 10% on any commerce that happens there at that merchant. You get 10% of any commissions that that merchant makes through our company. You get 10% of that, but you're also going to earn money on all of those customers as they go around town saving money. And so here's what that looks like. Imagine that the merchant gives away the mobile app, or by the way, this could be your next door neighbor. Let's say that your next door neighbor downloads our mobile app. They click the button, they invite 200 friends, 10% download the app. That's 20 people. Well, if you're the one who personally invited those people, you're going to make 10%. Well, if those people invite some people, you're going to make 5% on your people's people. So you make 10% on anyone you personally invite. You're going to make 5% on the people that your people's people invite. And that just continues infinitely deep. So, you invited 20, you make 10% on the 20 you personally invited. The 20 people push the button. They invite, 200 friends each. That's 4,000 invites. 10% download the mobile app. 400 people have our app. You're going to make 5% on those 400. They push the button, invite their friends, right? 8,000 people get the app. You make 5% on those people. Then they push the button, invite all their friends. 160,000 people get the app. You make 5% on those people. Gang, this just continues infinitely deep. And here's another way of showing you that. Every customer, they only get paid one level. So they can download the mobile app for free. They can click the button, invite all their friends. They make 5% on anyone they personally invite. But the other 5% is going to come up to you, the brand partner. And so each customer gets paid one level. You get paid 5% infinitely deep. And you begin to look at how viral this program can be and how many people you could be earning this 100% matching bonus on. It is an staggering amount of money, and it's all just pure retail commissions. Now, we also give you the ability to build a team. You can go out there and begin to bring on other people who want to get involved with the business. And let's say that you were to go out and recruit, Manny, Mary, and Joe, and those are your first three people. Well, if you were to bring on anybody else, you'd have to put them below, Manny, Mary, or Joe. You can only be 3 wide. And so you go 3 brand partners on your first line, 9 brand partners on your second line, 27 on your third. You take that all the way down to your 10th level, where you got a potential of 59,000 brand partners on the 10th level. Well, over here on the right, we show you the percentages that you can make. And you can make 1% on the first level, then 2, 2, 2, and then all the way down to 10% on the 10th level. And then we have a couple of infinity bonuses there as well. And so, this is the kind of money that you can make as people are clicking on the button and they're buying stuff at local merchants or big box retailers. Eventually, people are buying products off the app. These are the kind of commissions that you're going to make on all of the brand partners and all of their customers. Keep in mind that all of these brand partners, they've told their neighbors who told their neighbors who told their neighbors. I mean, each brand partner might have 160,000 customers. And you're making, it's not just the brand partner you're earning commissions on. It's them and all of their customers and their customers' customers. You're overriding groups of people, not individuals. But I'm going to back that up for a little bit. We're just going to use a simpler example. Let's just assume that they each just gave away the mobile app to 20 people each. That's it. Each brand partner gets 20 people each. As you can see, within 10 levels, you can have 1.7 million customers. Well, let's imagine that those customers all went out and clicked on our mobile app just twice per week. They went to the ice cream shop, they went to the oil change place. Everyone's just clicking on a couple things per week at a local merchant. By the time you get to your 7th level, your income potential is over $20,000 per month. By the time you get to your 10th level, your income potential is over $1.5 million per month. And again, this is for illustration purposes only. You're probably not going to make $1.5 million per month because you're not going to fill up the matrix perfectly. But what if just some percentage of that came to fruition? Whether it be 10% or 1%, that'd be 150 grand to 15 grand a month, either number. I mean, 1%. I mean, 1/10 of 1% is 1,500 a month, right? Either one of those numbers will probably make any one of you pretty happy for getting involved with Paid to Save. Now, we do have some unbelievable direct sales bonuses for selling those Dream Share packages we have. This has been one of our best-selling products. And imagine people wanting to go to the resorts for pennies on the dollar, like my buddy Rick Leewag. I mean, who doesn't want to go to Hawaii for $1,100 versus $3,300? Or who doesn't want to go to the Mayan Palace Riviera for 8 days for $399? So it doesn't take a whole lot to sell that program. And we pay some incredible commissions, based on where you're at in our compensation plan. And so everybody starts off as a brand partner. You make a few sales, you become a brand supervisor, make a few more sales, you become a brand manager, then a brand director, and then you just move on up the rank. And as you move up the ranks, so do your commissions. You can get all the way up to the point where you're making, $210 on a personal sale and making $180 infinitely deep on the sales of your team. And so let me give you some examples of how that might work. Let's assume that you came on board and you're somebody that you went out and retailed an endless fun pack. You wanted to fast track the brand manager in our compensation plan. And let's say that you brought on Manny, Mary, and Joe, and they also retailed an endless fun pack. So when that happened with Manny, Mary, and Joe, you made 30 on Manny, 30 on Mary, 30 on Joe. And so you made 30 on their sales each. So you made $90. Now let's say you're bringing on your 4th person. And let's assume that 4th person happens to be me. And I go out and retail one of those packages. Well, you're going to make $120 on that sale that I made. Well, let's say that, I begin to go out and build a team of people who are retailing the package as well. And every time each person retails one of these packages, you're going to make $90. And so, as people get people who get people and they're retailing the packages, you make $90 on the first 3 sales of the first 3 of the first 3 of the first 3 infinitely deep. So every time there's another sale, another 90, another sale, another 90, another sale, another 90. And that just continues again infinitely deep. And so if you recruited me and I retail that package and I go out and recruit 3 people and they retail a package and then my 3 get 3 who get 3 who get 3 who get 3, you're going to make $90 on those retail sales infinitely deep. And this just drives some huge incomes. And we've had people who've come on board, and made thousands their first month. Now, again, we've had people who've come on board and made nothing. I mean, this is, you got to go to work. Now, this is not something for nothing. You have to, go out and, and share the business. But we have a powerful compensation plan that even while you're just getting started, you're just brand new in the business, there is money in the compensation plan so that you can make a living while you're working on your fortune. And at this point, I hope that by now most of you recognize that this mobile thing, gang, this is the big thing. This is the big play that's happening in our industry this very moment. Mobile's where it's at, and this is an industry you want to be in. You can love us, you can hate us as a company, but we are the most radical, innovative thing to hit mobile yet, and there's nobody like us, and this is your chance to be first. And so at a minimum, I hope you get back with whoever invited you to be here on our Hangout. Thank them for thinking of you. At a minimum, download our mobile app so that you too can start getting paid to save today. And thanks for being with us.